It's not the best look, is it? So the time has come for me to tackle this corner and this Millsbow cabinet. So essentially what I want to do is I want to put another shelf in there and take all of these plants out. And I don't think everyone will be coming back in. I think maybe only a couple of them will be coming back in, but I do want to put there some plants from this tent and from that tent. So it's gonna be filled up. I have a list of about 20 hoyas that I can put in there. And I think I want to take care of some of those violets. They were underwatered, but they're doing much better now. I need to repot all of them. All of them need to be repotted. Some of them need to be propagated because I have several plants now growing in the same pot. Now this is a challenging space because it's very narrow. So I hope I don't break something. I also want to cut down that Hoya latifolia. As you can see, I've been doing a great job. This plant was much bigger, but I don't really want to keep it as is. I want to keep only a cutting and sell the rest of it away. I have sold about 20 at least cuttings so far, but you know, I just want to continue doing that. I'm gonna discard some parts that don't really look great. I only want to sell the best of them. And yeah, I also don't have space for such a big pot of Hoya. This light that you see in the cabinet is gonna replace this light. I already replaced one of these. These are non-dimmable TS600 Mars Hydro lights, so I'm gonna replace it with a dimmable TS1000 light. I also replaced one of those with a much bigger light that is dimmable. This is FC3000, that is also dimmed. I just had that from my big tent because I have a much bigger light in there. Embarrassingly, I still did not take care of my big tent. I simply did not have the time or the energy. But the big light that you can see in this tent is FC4800. It is a much bigger light than the FC3000, and the tent is also bigger than it was, so I still have to take care of all of those plants. But in my smaller tent, I still have FC3000. I have about 3 of those lights, so one of them is in the tent, one of them is for my Hoya wall, and one of them is just hanging in my room. And so far, they're all working out really nicely for my situation here. And as you can see, I did fix this situation. You know, I did turn it the wrong way. I did not want this to be visible, but whatever. We're gonna let her attach to that. And as you can see, I think she will. This new leaf is going to be absolutely massive. So I hope she continues to grow with not much internodal space. I don't want to get, again, this thing. I still need to wrap this part in moss and root it, and then when it starts to root, I will somehow attach a pot here until it's fully rooted, and then I will unscrew these and essentially move the bottom board to the top, and then I will pot the plant in something like this. This is a very tall pot here, and the base of this plant will get propagated and we will grow it out for sale essentially. A bit of a mess here currently, but we're gonna fix that. We're working on that, so hopefully today I can empty this out, rewire the lights, and maybe put the plants inside. They will all go into self-watering pots, but I only have a couple of them left. I have 2, and then this one I'm not gonna use for Hoyas. I think I'm gonna use it for something else. And then I have a couple of bigger ones. I might try to use this for Hoyas because it's big enough. And I think this one will be used essentially for some of the anthuriums. I even might put an anthurium in this one too, because I want all of it that is outside of the cabinets to be in self-watering pots. They just dry out really fast. All of these Hoyas dry out really fast. The anthuriums, this Varroquanum really needs a lot of water. It is looking good, it is looking better, but yeah, I would essentially like to have all of these in self-watering pots. And then essentially what I'm going with my Millsbow cabinet is what I did here with my Rotsta cabinet. I want them in all of these pots, and then I will do this here as well. You can see I have one of them already repotted, but the rest of them need to be taken care of too. I have more plants that are gonna go here. I just didn't put them there yet. You know, if I have some space left, that's great. We will always find some hoyas to put there, obviously, right? Not an issue to fill out a cabinet. I'm going to start slowly working on this. My lava rock is supposed to arrive today, so maybe we will do some repotting, maybe not. I need to make a new batch of pond. I ordered like 40 kilos of lava rock. And as you can see, this corner is looking better and better. That Hoya also needs to be chopped and rescued essentially. These philodendrons are kind of separated. They're not supposed to touch anything, but as you can see, they are. They're gonna also get cut and propagated at one point. This needs to be watered too. So yeah, my syngoniums are also out of the tent and they're drying out pretty fast. So I need to keep on top of watering for those. But I don't think I'm gonna keep any of my syngoniums. I think this spring all of them are gonna get just sold because I really don't have space. As you can see, it's getting very crazy here. I can barely get to my window. This tent is also very big, and you know, I grow mostly Hoyas if someone didn't catch on. So yeah, we're just staying in that territory for now. I am gonna keep some of the aeroids, but I just have to be very mindful how big they're gonna get, which clearly I wasn't, because as you can see, some of these are a year old, like this Jerry Horn and that Atabapuense. They were small plants, they're huge now. This is also slightly over a year old. It was a very small plant. It's huge now, so yeah. Surprise, plants grow. You know what? I think I'm gonna clean my rotstep today as well. I have not started yet. My lava rock just arrived. The entire 40 kilos of it. It's very heavy. It's very heavy. One bag is like 22 kilos. Not easy to lift. Slightly embarrassing in front of a delivery guy, but like, sorry. So that is in, and I would like to repot some Hoyas today from the big tent, but it is like 3 p.m. Current plan right now is to take out the Hoyas from the Millsbo cabinet, shower them, and then see what needs to be repotted and what needs to be moved to the Rotsta. I have a couple of them that need to be moved to the Rotsta. And then essentially join the Hoyas from the tent up above and put everything back. Also rewire the lights. Potentially drill a larger hole. I don't know. Put everything back and then repot like 10 or 20 Hoyas from the tent and obviously mix in some pon. Wash the Rotsta cabinet, like the glass, clean the glass on the Millsbo cabinet. I also would like to edit a bit of a video today because I have something recorded for this week and I'm not really sure the direction that that video is gonna go in. So I would like to actually start editing that to kind of get some inspiration, see where we will go, possibly nowhere. I also wanted to do something else today, but I forgot. I don't think my plan is very realistic at all. So we will definitely need to do some expectation adjustments here. Oh, did I crush an aerial root? Yes, I did. Sorry. Didn't mean to. I crushed the aerial root of this. Who are you? This Amidrium silver. I'm also going to propagate him as well. He was in the tent. We have a couple of yellow leaves, but actually this looked worse the other day. Probably because it was underwatered, but this is essentially damage from not really watering on time. I do want to also sell this plant, so I'm probably gonna take some cuttings. I don't think I'm gonna keep any of it. I like it. I do like palmate shaped leaves, but I don't have the space. I don't have the space, and this plant really needs a lot of managing. Like, it always grows these long vines. I mean, crazy aerial roots. It always grows these long vines, and then, you know, you get a leaf, and then again a long vine. Oh, we stepped on that tip as well, didn't we? Great Miro. Like, what I usually do is I just kind of tuck them back in, you know, wrap them around and tuck them back in to get a fuller plant, fuller looking plant. And I could do that, and it looks very nice, and I actually like it. Do I just do... No, Miro, you cannot keep all the plants. But I really like this one. Maybe I just sell a couple of cuttings. You are gonna keep that plant, aren't you? I hope my friend doesn't see this because I promised to her that I'm gonna get rid of all of the aeroids, or most of the aeroids. And I'm just gonna keep the ones that I like, and that's the El Choco Red and a couple of the other big ones, but I really want to keep that as well. I really want a palm tree. This is really the opposite of what I should be doing, but I really want a palm tree. I also want the Norfolk pine, the araucaria. I saw the araucaria the other day. I'm gonna tell you about that in this video or in some other video. But I just had araucaria when I was a kid, 15 years, okay, yeah, I was a kid, I was like 15. I had araucaria back then. And then my mom killed it when I went to the US for a year to study abroad. She killed all of my plants. But I would like a Norfolk pine, but I shouldn't get a Norfolk pine, but maybe I should get a small one. Do I want a palm tree more? I want both. I think you should tell me down in the comments below, should I get a palm tree and should I get a Norfolk pine? And I'm not gonna get any palm tree. I'm gonna look for something that's more... I really do want to try it with a coconut palm again because I killed one before, but that's when it did not have enough light and it did not have enough humidity, and I have both of those now. But first we need a new battery. Hold on. Because we need this tangent. You're gonna love it. Okay, a new battery so we can explore the tangent. So I have this book from the 80s, or maybe it is from the 70s. I'm not entirely sure. And it is about houseplants. And I remember as a kid, like very small Miro, just loved to flip through the pages of this book and kind of imagine what plants I would like to have. And I would just mark the pages of the plants that I would like to kind of look for in the plant stores, or one plant store that we had in my city. I was never able to find most of them. And in this book, you also get, like, there is advice which plants you should and you shouldn't buy. And it says you should not buy coconut palm, and I did. So clearly, I listened to advice really well. It died within a couple of weeks. I was so devastated. I actually took it back to the plant store and asked for a refund as like a kid in the 7th grade, because I saved up my money for that plant, like my lunch money. It took a lot to save up for it, and they were like, yeah, no. So yeah, they're bastards, and their flower store is closed now, so you know, karma. Not really. But also they were not very nice about it. I guess what it was trying to say is that I would like some of those plants again. I have gotten all of these rare philodendrons, all of these rare hoyas, which I absolutely love, but there are just some plants that I used to have that I kind of miss them. And when I see them somewhere else, I'm just like, I really want to have that again. The point of this is, in that book there was the plant, the coconut palm, the Cocos nucifera, and then they said a much easier one to grow and kind of similar looking is Cocos wedliniana. I may be pronouncing that incorrectly, but it's not in the Cocos genus, whatever. It was moved to Microcoleum wedlinianum, and one of the synonyms in that book was Litocarium wedlinianum, but the actual name is Siagros wedeliana. So I want that. But that plant is very difficult to find. If someone knows a website in the EU where I can get the palm that I want, let me know. Maybe I should try it from a seed. Or maybe I shouldn't get a palm at all. Okay, bye! Look at my micro dwarf. It is gorgeous. Does it need to be repotted? Yes. And one of my 3 Dashilia hirsutas, the other 2 unfortunately died. They are all from the same plant. They arrived with rotten roots, and I just neglected the other 2. But this one I decided to actually leave for myself, and that was the case from the beginning, and I just took care of it more. She's doing great. I don't see any roots here. I don't think she needs to be necessarily repotted, but it's very difficult to water her because I don't really have anywhere to water her, if you catch my drift. I would definitely like to have a small Dischidia collection, like a small cabinet with them, because they're so cute and I love their flowers. And this one, I'm so sad that this is not a Hoya. I cannot tell you how sad I am. This is not actually a Hoya. Wow, I look like an absolute garbage, so it is a regular Thursday. I did not record since I started doing that Millsbo cabinet. I kind of emptied the cabinet, and yep, my plans were definitely overly ambitious for that day. As you can see, things happened, which I will not discuss right now. I will discuss it in this video, but just a little bit later. I just wanted to unbox something that I received from one of my patrons and one of my subscribers, Youth of the Walamut. And it's right here. It just arrived today, and I'm super excited to have this. So I'm going to open it here. And then it is an envelope within an envelope, so this is the actual thing. I really hope they did not damage what is inside, because if they did damage what is inside, I'm gonna be angry. They didn't. Finally, I have it. I love this format. It is much smaller than I anticipated. I thought it was like a bigger book. So this is the famous Guide to Hoyas of Borneo that I have been talking about. My first copy, I didn't have this book until now. It's a very difficult book to find. I don't know if it's out of print. It's just a wonderful gift that I received. I'm gonna open it. I'm gonna open it because I want to see what it's like. I know that some of you have had this book for a moment, but you know, some of us are late to the party. Such a beautiful photo here when you open the book. Like, can we go to Borneo? Can we organize like a field trip and all 14,000 of us can go and someone else will fund it because times are rough. And then there is a photo of Anthony Lamb and Michele Roda. Michele Roda is the guy in the white shirt, or the botanist. I love how I said the guy. And then here is Anthony Lamb, and they're very prominent when it comes to Hoya research, both of them botanists. Oh, this is a series. A Guide to Dendrobium of New Guinea, A Guide to Dendrobium of Borneo, A Guide to Dendrobium of Philippines, A Guide to Orchids of Kinabalu. You know, I should buy orchids. I need more orchids. It's a sign. It's a sign. A Guide to Gingers of Borneo, well, I like ginger tea, and A Guide of Begonias of... no, I'm not getting begonia. That's not a sign. I'm gonna go and kind of go through the book. I do have some watering to do today, which unfortunately I do have to do. I cannot postpone it because I was supposed to do it a week ago almost. Well, not a week ago. Today is Thursday. I was supposed to do it on Saturday or Sunday. I'm really supposed to water today. They're really dry, the plants outside of the cabinets. I don't think I can water all of them today. I think I'm just going to water the critical ones, which are the hanging ones. They need the most water right now. And then maybe my multifloras. But yeah, this is a reason why I'm moving everything to self-watering pots, because stuff happens, life happens, you gotta go, you gotta do stuff. And yeah, we cannot be worried about the plants. So anyways, that's that. I'm going to go and look through my lovely new book. And thank you, Yuta. That is a amazing gift. I will see you very quickly, if nothing else happens. I think we're just gonna leave it at this light level, whatever the light level is, and just have some tea. I guess it's time for me to tell you exactly what happened and Perhaps why this video isn't the way we anticipated it to be. I certainly didn't anticipate it to be this way. Maybe you have, probably not, because it's weird. You should have notified me what would have happened. I thought this was just gonna be some maybe nice vlog. It is still a vlog, definitely, but nice, not so much. I, started off this week thinking I would do some plant chores with my cabinets. As you can see, the second one is still not finished. It was supposed to be done by today. I mean, the first one was also supposed to be done. The Millsbo cabinet, it's still empty. The hoyas are under the desk. Have not put them back because I want to repot all of them, and I still have not ordered all the pots. Unexpected things happened. I no longer have the thing on my hand. So that thing was for the IV, the little plastic thing. I don't actually know the name for it in English. I barely know the name for it in Serbian, but that was in there for 4 days. I started to record some of the footage for this video on Monday. Today is Friday, and things were going okay. I was feeling okay. I was feeling fine, but I took breaks. I was just a bit slower than usual. On Saturday and Sunday, I spent most of my day editing and posting that video, so I just, was still working, but with some time off in between, I guess. It was around 11 p.m. when, I was going up and down, putting up the new light, whatever. And my friend asked me to send him some Hoya photos because he's doing a sale and he wanted some flower photos. So I got up from the floor. I don't know what I was doing on the floor. I think I was just messing with some plants. So I got up and I transferred some of the photos, and suddenly I felt very dizzy. Like, things were moving. I was sitting, but things were not. What I noticed before that day, I kind of heard this pulsing / whooshing sound in my right ear. And of course I thought I was having a stroke, because that's what you think, right? You must be dying. My dad has the device that measures your blood pressure. I went to the kitchen where that thing is, and just to see what my blood pressure was, and I couldn't even make it to the kitchen. I was so dizzy. It quickly went from dizzy to actual vertigo. It just felt like you got off the roundabout thing, like the playground thing. I don't know if that's actually merry-go-round, because we don't use the word merry-go-round in Serbian, but anyways, it just felt like you got off of that, or like if you were spinning like a child in circles and stopped and everything was moving and you tried to walk, but obviously you know that you trip then. And it's usually fun for kids. Well, it wasn't fun because I had no idea what was causing it, and it came all of a sudden, like this is within 2-3 minutes. So I went to the kitchen, checked my blood pressure. It was normal, 120 something with 70 something, 70-ish. So I was like, okay, I have no idea what's going on. So I went to the bathroom to kind of just wash my face. I was like, that's gonna help. Suddenly I felt very, very nauseous. And, when you feel very, very nauseous, things come out. And they did. And I noticed right away that as soon as I lift my head, I get more nauseous. It wasn't food poisoning. I know that I didn't have anything bad for sure. I went to my bed. I was like, this will pass. And it didn't. I woke up around 3 or 4 a.m. and everything was still spinning. I went back to sleep, and even in my bed, I could feel like the entire room spinning. I woke up the next morning and I asked my sister if she would take me to the doctor's office, to the ENT. Somewhere during the night, I don't know when I looked this up. I have no memory of this, but I just somehow knew that I'm supposed to see ENT because this could be something with the inner ear. I think I ruled out stroke somewhere in the middle of the night. The morning was very, very rough, extremely nauseous, even more than the night before. I just barely got dressed. I was really worried that I will not be even able to walk in there. And I was right, I couldn't. The people working there helped me. I had like this towel all on my face. For a moment there, I was like, oh, this feels like I'm a celebrity. Just like, don't look at me. But it was actually, so I don't see anything moving, and the towel kind of had this calming effect. I go to the ENT, she does some quick tests. She already saw something with the eyes kind of going into certain direction, and there is a name for it. I will just put it on the screen. So they gave me some IV and they gave me some medicine, which I didn't know until the second day what it was, but it was some sort of anti-inflammatory steroids. And they left in the tube, whatever thingy in there until today, because every day I went for those anti-inflammatory steroid thingies, and I got some beta histamines to drink, and I'm supposed to drink those until the end of the month. She suspects it's some kind of an inner ear infection, probably because of some cold or some previous condition. Essentially, because the therapy is working and it seems that I'm getting better, she said today that to her I just look much better. I can walk, I can do things. She only said that she kind of notices that I kind of sway to the left, which, you know, like this test, they make you do it with your eyes closed, with your, hands in front of you, and you have to kind of walk in place with your eyes closed. I'm like, yeah, I'm probably like that anyways. I run into things and I knock things over all the time, so not the most gracious creature on the planet. I spent most of this week in my bed. I just took it easy, very, very easy this week. I did water some plants, and I do have to water a bit more today. Not everything is gonna get watered. Not everything is gonna get cleaned. Things are not gonna get done. They're not gonna get repotted. They're not gonna be where they're supposed to be by the end of the week. And, I'm just gonna forgive myself for that. There's even nothing to forgive. That even sounds stupid, but I'm just not gonna even think so much about that because, there are other things. Clearly taking rest is more important. And yeah, thank you for watching, and subscribe to the channel. This is not the usual content. I promise it gets better. It does get better. Maybe it's not better, it's just different. But it's not this. This is not the typical vibe. And we usually don't sit down on the floor. We're usually very glamorous here. Don't check the previous videos to verify that. Hopefully next week it will be more exciting. Not in this one. When I say more exciting, universe, when I say more exciting, I mean like health perfect and just, a lot of fun planned chores to do. Maybe $1 million, maybe like win a lottery or something like that exciting, okay? Just to be clear, because if you're not clear, things can get, weird. See you soon! I would like to take some time to thank my patrons. A massive shout out to my $5 patrons. My 3 anonymous patrons, Alex von Siebenthal, Anne-Margaret Moen, Angela Bernard, Angela Parrish, NC, Ashley Hoyas, Becky Higgins, Beth Gibson, Betsy, Danube Daniels, Daria Kaminska, Deanne Sikorsky, Farah, Gina Geisig, Go Green Tropical, Heather Uppenkamp, Houseblend Heather, Hoya Heather, Yana Griffin, Jessica Chio, Kara, KC Gross Hoyas, Kelly Koo, Kelso, Kristen Sherwood, LePlan the Steph, Mandy Milliken, Marcel Har, Mars B, Martina Alif Perday, Marty Miller, Mary Rose Nagel, Melissa Walker, Michael Curley, Nicole Ferranti, Mirka Grun-Roos, Neely Yang, Nicole Moreau, Nicole and Caleb of Schlieve Tropicals, Nita Macy, PJ, Robin L. Jennings, Sherry Kumar, Stephanie H2O, Stephanie Zeely May, Sybil Williams, Tanya, Tessa Martins, The Swedish Hoya Noob, TJWO, Wendy Foreman, Wendy Rossman, Yutha the Walamut, and Zlokov Niponi. Also, a big thank you to my $3 patrons. Angelina Farnan, Anne Margaret, Anna K, Brenda Little, Brenna B, Brianna Phillips, Kilone, Christina Greengrass, Claudia L, Fluffy Blue Sheep, Jerry's Garden, Lisa Helling, Morgan Kennedy, Nella, Nerdy Kathy, Plandruid, Plantelania, Ringlov, and Tangwata Nasria Cool. And a thank you to my $1 patrons, Brandon Pacheco, Kari, Carrie, Constance, Jacinta, Jolie Sullivan, Caleb Avra, Lauren M, Lori Ann Subramaniam, Luzman Fernandez, Neely Spicer, and Olivia Chinmuller. Thank you all so much for incredible support. I hope that the next video will have more planned things and more actually fun things to watch. Stay safe, and I will see you soon.